How classic is that position for worship?
Sound check.
G'day and welcome back to another vocal analysis here at Voice Essentials. My name is Dr. Dan, and today we are going to be reviewing Gigi De Lana. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, she is so good. But interestingly, and for those of you, sometimes I get questions on my YouTube channel asking, are you a real doctor, or is that just a marketing spin? Yes, I am a fully qualified doctoral holding doctor. And this is interesting because my doctorate was on contemporary worship singers. I literally wrote nearly 100,000 words on codifying and qualifying what is a contemporary worship singer and what is the context in which they sing. Why is that interesting? Well, today's song is the Hillsong United piece, Oceans. It's a worship piece. And of course, the context in which we're watching this performance is not a worship service. It is purely a performance. I think is done in a worshipful way, given the context. And what I also love about it is that we really, I think, get to hear Gigi's voice as Gigi. And the reason I say that is because we so often hear her doing the most amazing covers where she's still true to her own vocal sound, but she is so clever at being able to emulate the phrasing of the original artist in such a way that it's just a masterclass in cover singing. But this, I don't think that's what we hear here. I think we really hear, without any of that, masking going on or needing to go on, we get to hear just a fabulous singer singing a beautifully written song. I cannot tell you how many times I've led this song in my local church and performed it and presented it, and it's a classic. For those of you who don't know Christian worship, Mike, can I just say this is not going to be a Christian fest, this analysis. It's still going to be about voice. You don't have to be a Christian, card-holding Christian to appreciate the amazing singing of this piece. But that being said, this is one song I know inside out, and it's also a context that I know inside out. That is the contemporary worship singer. So let's dive in. It's quite a long song. It's over 6 minutes. That in and of itself is in keeping with contemporary worship so many times, and Hillsong is known for it. Their songs do go on and on and on a bit for extended periods of time, in part because they are designed to be to have the congregation participating and singing along with the singer. Of course, that's not what we're observing here now, but that explains in part the length of the performance because that's where it comes from. So let's dive in here. It's a beautiful song. I think you'll love it, Christian or not. It's a very pretty melody, beautiful words. Let's have a listen and just soak up Gigi De Lana. She's so good.
You call me out upon the waters, the great
about that entrance, because we often talk about needing to take an audience somewhere, and so we often want to start low and quiet and intimate. In contemporary worship, that's not all that you've got to consider. You've actually got to consider where you've been bringing the audience, the congregation, from. And so often in the context of a worship piece, you're dovetailing. So this song in the context of worship would be actually dovetailing out of another song. And so to make sure that you don't disrupt that worship moment, you've got to make sure the voice just comes in quietly. Yes, it is about where we're going to go, but it's also, in this context, about where we've just come from. That's really important. And Gigi does. Oh, man. I she's so good. She is that good. She really is.
And there I find you in the mystery, in oceans deep. My faith will stand, and I will call upon you.
I love the way she does. She just hear that breathiness over the top, and it just has this lovely. Listen again.
My faith will stand, and I will call upon your name, and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours, and you are mine.
So good.
Your grace abounds in deepest waters. Your sovereign hand will be my guide. Where faith may fail and fear surrounds me, you've never failed, and you won't start now.
Oh, I just love the way she built that. It's still not too big. It's just this very incremental building of weight into the vocal tone, to the point where she's now going to launch into, I'm going to take it back so you can really listen to the layering, but then she gets to a point where she's going to launch into the chorus. A very typical structure of contemporary worship songs is they'll start with a verse, chorus, second verse, chorus, bridge, into umpteen choruses. Sometimes it'll go verse 2, sometimes there'll be a pre-chorus, but it's all designed to actually get to a climatic point more often than not at the bridge and in the repeating choruses at the end. That's what we get to hear here. Let's take it back and listen to her layering that build.
Your grace abounds in deepest waters.
It's subtle.
Sovereign hand will be my guide.
Gigi vibes are doing great. The musicians, they're supporting. They're also not getting carried away.
Never failed, and you won't start now. So I will call upon your name, and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours.
Nice choice of melodic line.
You are mine.
Listen to the musicians going with her. That is a big part of contemporary worship orchestration arrangement, is often the singer, the lead vocal, is in the moment arranging what's going on. So it's almost like it's arrangement on the fly. It's happening in the moment, because in the context of Christian worship, they are being what many would refer to as spirit-led, to be feeling where do we need to have the peaks and troughs. It's not going to be exactly the same every time. And so what we've got here is the musicians are really listening very closely to where is Gigi building? It must be said, this is quite a classic rendition of that idea. Nonetheless, that's still happening. They're still following what she is doing. It's not just purely a preordained orchestration. So this section's just a little interlude, yeah? Prepping us for the bridge. Bridge. Notice how it pulls back. So we're creating that intimacy again. If I were to be critical, and actually I'm just making one small observation, technically, in this performance, we see a little bit of tightness through the jaw. There's a little bit of grabbing of jaw tension in just ever so slightly. And, that does not take or detract from what we're hearing and what we're seeing in any way, shape or form. But I'd never want to be accused of missing that by my fellow pedagogues. There is some tightness in the jaw. I'd like to see that just a little looser so that we're not getting too much structural tension through. Because over time, yes, in one gig, in one set, but also over time, lifetime of a singer, that can have some wearing effects.
Upon the waters, wherever you would call me, take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence.
I think it just could be a little freer. I do. This is where the bridge, remember we're talking about the bridge building to a climatic point? See how the bridge, we're just repeating that the bridge is building. And so we're building intensity, getting that climatic point. We're going to launch back into the chorus in a second. I have to comment about the snare sound. This will be probably the last, even slightly critical thing I'll say. I actually don't like that snare sound. There's something really hollow about it. It's probably got to do with the fact that I think it's an electric kit. I don't know, it's so picky. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. What do you think of the snare sound? It's just a little bit it's got nothing to do with the singing. It was just something I noticed when I was, before I hit record, just something about the snare that sort of stood out to me as something that I wasn't overly enamored with.
In the presence of my Savior, Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's have a listen to that again. I just love that variation. One of the challenges of doing, worship material when you're doing a song like Oceans, where the bridge is being repeated and repeated and repeated, that can be really wearing on the congregant's ear. You've got to create not just dynamic change, but also melodic change. And she does such a lovely little job of it there.
Presence of my Savior, Spirit, lead me where my
Yeah.
trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior.
How classic is that position for worship? I mean, it's so classic worship posture. It's not great for singing. Unfortunately, too many singers, church singers, contemporary worship singers, and if you are one, take note of this. It's all too easy to find yourself in that position the entire time. If you do, you are going to wear and tear at your voice. Gigi hasn't. She's got a moment in right now where that's what's going on, but that's not her general stance. Her general stance has been more level. And so it's really important that you don't find yourself there in the worship posture constantly. Have a look as she moves into it. She does do it, but then she brings it down again.
Faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior.
Up. And she brings it down. It's just such a lovely way to hear her unmasked, just her voice.
I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. My soul will rest in your embrace.
We bring us back down.
For I am
Oh, lovely aspiration.
and you are mine. You are mine.
Love it. Love it. So good. Wow. I mean, oh dear. I could listen to her all day. I literally could just sit here and listen to her all day. I just love everything about what she does. She, we were able to highlight a small technical thing going on there. It's not something I don't think I've observed that in other performances, but in this performance. So we're not saying she's the perfect singer. There is no perfect human being on the planet. Dearie me, if we're not aiming for perfection, we're certainly aiming for something in keeping with what Gigi does with her voice. It's just so good. And I'm going to do more Gigi De Lana because why wouldn't I? I get to learn I get to learn so much from watching a singer of her caliber, and I hope you do too. We do these vocal analyses every week, and so I'd love for you to subscribe and join our ever-growing community. It's a global community here at Voice Essentials, and we are very passionate about learning to sing. We're an educational channel, it has to be said, and so if learning to sing is your thing, then please hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button also, because I would welcome that. That would be encouraging. I look forward to seeing you in the next vocal analysis video. I'm Dr. Dan. Sing well.